Welcome back, everyone. It's getting to be the peak of hurricane season. So what are you guys looking for this time of the year, Jeremiah?
Well, Tia, as we've seen in the past couple of years, some of the biggest hurricanes that make landfall happen during September and October. And one thing that we pay special attention to is unusual activity that could spell disaster for Southeast Texas.
So what's something that puts you guys on alert?
Well, a perfect example of that is something called the Fujiwhara Effect. Let's get weather smart. A Japanese meteorologist discovered that when two spinning objects get close to each other, instead of combining, they tend to pivot and start rotating around each other. This effect can be seen in satellite imagery from late July into August of 2017 off the west coast of Mexico. Two hurricanes slowly pivoted around each other, eventually weakening into tropical storms. While it's possible for a very strong storm to absorb a weaker one, the Fujiwhara effect is typically characterized by two storms rotating around a common center. Back in August of 2020, meteorologists and researchers were intrigued by the idea of Hurricane Laura and Hurricane Marco potentially demonstrating this effect in the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, we know the storms were too far apart for this effect to occur. As forecasters continue to predict an above-normal hurricane season this year, the potential for the Fujiwhara effect in the Atlantic Basin is impossible to forecast long-term. However, if two storms form within 350 to about 860 miles apart, they may begin to rotate around their common center, creating this mesmerizing meteorological dance in our skies. In the Weather Center, Meteorologist Jeremiah Stewart, 12 News. The time now is 6:46 on your Labor Day, and of course, looking out in the tropics, really not a whole bunch going on in terms of named systems, but we do have a couple of areas that we're watching that could develop into the next named system, which will be Francine. But right now, like I said, very quiet out there, and the Fujiwhara effect not really going to impact Southeast Texas at all within the next 7 to 10 days, but could see some tropical activity start to increase as we go throughout the next 7 to 10 days. We'll talk more about that here in just a bit, but right now, as we look outside